Imagine standing on a misty mountainside just before dawn. The world is utterly still. There are no distractions, no voices, no direction. Just breath, just presence, just space. And in that space, you begin to realize it's not empty. It's alive. It's waiting for you, but not with answers, with something deeper, the unknown. This is the realm that Miyamoto Musashi called Ku, the void. To most, Musashi is a swordsman, a warrior of unmatched skill. But at the end of his life, when all battles were behind him, he wrote about something profoundly different. Not technique, not strength, but emptiness. In his legendary treatise, The Book of Five Rings, the final scroll isn't about fire or water or even wind. It is about nothingness, the void. And in that void lies the ultimate mastery of combat, of the self, and of reality itself. This isn't just samurai philosophy. This is a roadmap to freedom. Let's journey into one of the most profound and misunderstood ideas in all of Eastern philosophy, Musashi's concept of the void. This is the unfolding journey, where we dive deep into the lives, legends, and philosophies that shape our understanding of the world and ourselves. If you're drawn to the quiet power of ancient wisdom, the insights buried in swords and scrolls, and the questions that don't have easy answers, then welcome. You found your path. Let's walk it together. What is Ku, the void in Japanese thought? Before we explore Musashi's take, we have to understand the cultural and philosophical roots of Ku, or the void. In Japanese, Ku is a complex concept. It doesn't simply mean nothing. It means emptiness, but not in the sense of lack. Rather, it is formless potential. It is the absence that makes space for existence. This idea originates in Buddhism, particularly Zen and Mahayana traditions. In the Heart Sutra, it's said, "Form is emptiness, emptiness is form." What does this mean? That everything we see, objects, thoughts, even identity, is temporary and interdependent. Nothing has an independent, fixed essence. Everything arises, changes, and fades. So Ku isn't nihilism. It's not hopelessness. It's the truth behind all forms. The canvas behind the painting. The silence between musical notes. Musashi and the Book of Five Rings. In the Book of Five Rings, Go Rin no Sho, Musashi outlines 5 scrolls, each named after an element: earth, water, fire, wind, and finally void. Each scroll represents a different level of strategy and understanding. Earth covers foundational techniques and mindset. Water is adaptability and form. Fire is the heat of direct conflict. Wind discusses the styles of others, understanding and transcending them. And then comes void. It's not a mistake that void is last. In Musashi's system, you progress from the physical to the metaphysical, from surface to source. Here's what he writes: "By knowing things that exist, you can know that which does not exist." That is the void. It sounds paradoxical, and it's meant to, because the void isn't something you learn. It's something you come to know through direct experience. The void as a state of mastery. To Musashi, the void wasn't just a concept. It was a mental state, the culmination of a warrior's training. Imagine fighting not with fear or anticipation, but with total clarity. No hesitation, no calculation, just instinct, aligned perfectly with the moment. That is the void. It's the absence of ego, the disappearance of technique. You are no longer thinking about cutting. You are the cut. The sword moves before you even know you moved it. Musashi calls this the true way of strategy, which is revealed through emptiness. This state resembles what modern athletes call being in the zone. But for Musashi, it was more than peak performance. It was enlightenment through action. The void in Zen Buddhism. Zen deeply influenced Musashi's worldview. Even though he wasn't a monk or scholar, he lived the life of a Zen practitioner: solitude, austerity, directness. In Zen, the goal isn't to accumulate knowledge, but to awaken, to see through illusions of self and permanence. The void in this tradition is not nothing. It is everything unfiltered. There's a Zen story of a monk asking, "What is the Buddha?" The master replies, "A dried dung stick." It's meant to shock, to break your expectations, to point you toward the void, the place where truth doesn't rely on logic or form. Musashi's swordsmanship was Zen in motion, spontaneous, unattached, pure. When he says know that which does not exist, he's echoing the same spiritual insight. True mastery arises when the self gets out of the way, applying the void, not just for warriors. You don't have to be a swordsman to walk the path of Ku. In fact, the void may be more relevant now than ever. We live in a world of endless noise, social media, content analysis, distraction. But mastery in any craft, music, design, leadership, even conversation, comes not from more information, but from presence, from space, from knowing when to act without overthinking. The void teaches us to trust intuition over impulse, see things as they are, not how we wish them to be, detach from ego-driven outcomes, respond without clinging to technique. Musashi wasn't just writing for warriors. He was writing for anyone seeking clarity in chaos. The dangers of misunderstanding the void. There's a temptation to see the void as escapism or detachment from life. But Musashi's void is not passive. It is supremely active. The void is not absence of action. It's action without attachment. It's a place of pure responsiveness. You don't ignore the world. You become fully part of it without being caught by it. This is why Musashi warns against technique for its own sake. He writes, "Fixation is the way to death. Fluidity is the way to life." Many people stop at technique, mastering the forms, the drills, the rules. But the void is beyond form. It's freedom born from form. It's the emptiness that allows full expression. Musashi's legacy and the modern void. Musashi's teachings on the void have found surprising relevance in modern contexts, from business strategy to creative flow to mindfulness. Athletes, artists, entrepreneurs, all face moments where thinking too much becomes a trap. The solution? Step into the void. In that space, you don't try to win. You don't force an outcome. You act fully present, unattached. And that's often when your best work, your truest self, emerges. Musashi isn't just a historical figure. He's a guide for how to be fully alive. So what is the void? It is not emptiness. It is openness. It is not absence. It is potential. It is the space where form and spirit meet, where mastery and mystery become one. Musashi's concept of the void is the culmination of a life spent in search of truth, not just in battle, but in being. It is a reminder that the ultimate wisdom cannot be taught, only experienced, and that the greatest actions come from silence, stillness, and surrender. The void is not something to reach for. It is something to return to. It is already here. If this journey into the void stirred something in you, a question, a breath, a sense of stillness, then keep walking with us. Subscribe to The Unfolding Journey for more stories where history meets mystery, where swords become teachings, and where ancient wisdom still speaks to the present moment. Tap the bell so you never miss an episode. Share this with a fellow seeker. And until next time, may you find strength in stillness and peace in the void.